definitely, we're all here answering your questions, Brenda and Charu here. But it's always good to hear from somebody who's actually learned it and applied it into their lives. And Tesseen's here. Hi, Tesseen.
Hi, good evening, Neelu. Good
Hi.
evening, Brenda and Charu. Hi.
Hi, good to see you.
Good evening, everyone. Same here. Thank you.
Tesseen, I know you've learned it, but share with everybody what your time with BNC has been like. What's your experience been like?
Thank you, Neelu. It's been absolutely extraordinary, is the word I would use, among other words. Something I did not really foresee would actually happen, because I mean, like Charu mentioned, I always had this belief that, okay, everything is energy, and if we shift energy, healing can be attained. But, I was looking for some simple yet very powerful way of actually doing this, because, whenever loved ones are affected or someone's unwell, and then you're always dependent on an outside party or the doctor or the hospital, and you cannot contribute to healing anybody, and I really wanted to be in that space. And earlier, I never got time to learn anything or even look for any modality, anything, which I would like to do. But all that changed during the lockdown. So thank God for that, where I got to know about the BNC miracle method. And to be frank, I was a bit skeptical at first, and because I don't get convinced easily. So I wasn't sure that, okay, is this actually going to work or not? And then finally, I did register for it based on three main things. One was on a Tele summit call like this, very powerful testimonials, which made me think, what if actually this is possible? Then, I'm out on this entire world of healing, which can happen. And secondly was, on the strong repeated recommendation of my brother-in-law to, join and be part of this. And third was, of course, the excellent offer price of Mystic Lotus and Brenda and Charu. And then I said, okay, just let me give this a shot. And at that time, I had no idea of the miracles that were going to follow. And that's really something which has blown me away, because personally, I started, of course, as soon as I learned it, I started applying it on myself, because, I didn't want to tell everyone and, accept requests for healing and, all that without fortifying myself and knowing that, yeah, this really has worked for me. And let me tell you that there were a lot of phenomenal small wins, so to speak, for myself, which may sound small, but at that moment, it really makes a huge difference. For example, like an acute headache that I had like once or twice, which I just did one session and it went off, within like a half hour. It had just like, of course, it went maybe in about 10 minutes, it started coming down, and it just vanished. And that was acute headache, right? It wasn't like, then the other thing was, I had this, I remember Brenda and Charu mentioning that, for pain and for especially dental issues, this works amazingly. And I had this slight toothache, which I've had after years, and swollen gums. And this was like around the night time. So there was no question of going or doing anything about it. So I said, okay, let me do a session on this. And I slept off. And morning I woke up, it literally had vanished, like vanished. Wow. Like to the extent, like I didn't remember. Then later on in the morning while brushing my teeth, I was thinking, oh my God, like this was like, I felt that, but it was perfectly fine. The other thing I would like to mention is, in between once or twice, I've had this little sore throat, cold. And you know how it is during the pandemic era, right? The corona era. It's like little bit you get, you feel, oh my God, I hope I'm not coming in for COVID or something, or I hope I haven't got exposed. So then I used to do that session, and it used to just go away in minutes and totally like 100%. So I think that was phenomenal. Two other quick things I want to mention personally for me, before speaking about some other healing I did with the BNC miracle method, is I've had this chronic calf pain for almost 10 years. And, Abhi, we were asking everyone for the pain levels and all. And I was just thinking, I would have said not 0 to 10. I wouldn't even have said 10. I would have said 20 or something. Very chronic, acute in one part of the calf. The second was lower back pain for more than 20 years. And these two things have been a constant companion for me in a, a higher and lesser degree of pain through all these years. And I literally have done only one session each for these two. And I left it at that. I wasn't really tracking. So I said, okay, I have suffered from this. Let me also do it. And the other day only I was speaking to Mama about this, and it just struck me that, oh my God, I don't feel this anymore, neither in my calf, neither in my lower back. And
That's
so,
amazing.
and that was one session. So I think that is really, that's a true miracle, because that's like 10 years, 20 years is, it was really amazing. Someone mentioned financial blockages. So I had, so of course, that's like the big thing, the next big thing that, we would love to welcome all of us in our lives. So when, I did that for money, and it was like clearing blockages to receive money within the next 24 hours, like 50,000. So did that. And then within 24 hours, which was of course probably 18 hours or 16 hours, I received 55,000. And that really happened. And I remember messaging Brenda and Charu about it, that this is it is miraculous, because, in such limited hours to see, something like this. Of course, it goes without saying that I have used it ever since for income, to fortify my income and for that to flow into. I used it for my pet dog too, if I may mention that. So not only for myself, this was all for myself. I used it for my pet dog during her fracture, where she wasn't able to get up and walk. And that was really an amazing miracle, because otherwise we had to hold her and take her down. And I think within 1 hour of doing the session, she got up slowly and she walked to the door. And from that day onwards, we could take her with the leash down, and oh, it was really touching for us. It was like, a very, very big thing. Like, it was really amazing when that shift happened. So slowly and steadily, as I started seeing all these shifts happening, my firm faith and belief really started, getting deeper and deeper with the BNC miracle method. And I said, I want to do more levels and more modules. And because I really wanted to get a grip of this, because I knew there is something miraculous going on here, which I really want to be a part of and empower myself. The real test of this came where two major healing shifts happened. The healing I did for others, not only for myself.
Right.
One was our cousin brother, who was in hospital. He must have been there maybe 2 weeks or 3 weeks. Severe COVID case, brain hemorrhage, lot of issues. Lot of issues were going on with him, to the extent that, the family was expecting not so good news any minute, and, stuff like that. Then Mama had told me that, okay, this is happening of Prakash Bhaiya. So, can you do something since you've learned this? So I said, sure, I'll give it a shot. So since this was a much more, severe case, so I did about 3 to 4 sessions. And there was, since he was in hospital and, the family was also distraught, there was no way of constantly checking that, okay, is there a change? What are the exact symptoms? Is there? But I just kept on doing my, I just spaced it out, and it was severe. I did about 3 to 4 healing sessions, and I left it at that. And after about 3 days of the last session, finishing, which was maybe 5-6 days in total, Mama just came to the room and said, Prakash Bhaiya has been discharged. And I was in total shock. I was like, how's that possible for someone who's gone through, hemorrhage also, brain hemorrhage and brain issues and severe COVID case? And then I knew, the miracle has really worked. Like, that was one of the major things that, I really thank Brenda and Charu for this, for developing this method and sharing it, because that was huge, huge. Second was, of course, for my helper's daughter also. Again, she had a very chronic condition, this lump filled with pus and a lot of other issues. I did about 4 to 5 sessions for her. It took at least a month, but because, the communication and all that also had to be spaced out and all that. But today she's perfectly fit and fine. And that was from a time that they thought, nothing would actually work. So yeah, it's been really extraordinary, Neelu. So I'm really thankful to Brenda and Charu. And I just want to say today, I really feel empowered and I feel like I have tapped into this, my hidden abilities to really heal through this method, because it is simple enough and it is very, very powerful. So, then you just feel empowered and you feel full of hope that, okay, now I can actually handle and clear blockages of various life situations for myself, for my loved ones, and perhaps for healers, for their clients. Like, it's eminently possible. Uh, and I also want to say that I think it's very, very powerful. It's one of the best healing modalities available, according to
Thank
me,
you.
which I will highly recommend for anyone. Because if a person like me, who's just a normal person who just lived a corporate life and doing a job, and if I can really create such miracles, I think anyone can. It's just, putting your mind to it.
Right.
So that is it. And last but not the least, I just want to say that my journey of learning has not ended, because I've registered for the ancestral healing class, which I'm really keen to, and I'm looking forward to being part of this amazing module. So I look forward to even creating many more healings and miracles to come. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Tessin, for
Thank you,
taking the time
Tessin.
out
Awesome.
and being here. Brenda, Charu, is there anything you'd like to say to Tessin?
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
I want to say one thing that Tessin said, that she found her purpose. And I remember when I first met Tessin, the one thing that she said to me, I don't know what my purpose is. And this was our
Yes, I
first day.
remember
When you
that.
remember, Tessin? You
Yes,
said
I
that. When you
remember.
said that, I'm like, oh, yes, you said that. And now you said it,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's very true. Well, thank you
Well,
so much. Thank you.
well done, Tessin. Yeah, very
Well,
well. We're very proud of you.
thank you.
Yeah, it's awesome, and I think the dedication shows in the way you work with it, and that's the thing. You work on anything and everything with that open-mindedness. So wow, congratulations to you. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Neelu, can I say one last quick word about
Yes, of course. Please.
the learning? So I
Please,
really
please.
want to tell everyone out there that the way, there are a lot of people who are very knowledgeable and know a lot of stuff, but sometimes, it cannot be passed on, or, they're not good teachers, or, for me, the way a person teaches is very important. So I must say that for me, attending the classes of Brenda and Charu is amazing, because, the ease with which they deliver stuff, the clarity, the honesty, the sincerity, the patience, if you're not getting it, to do it again, to make sure every participant in the class really gets to know how to do it. I think that's really made a huge difference. So thank you for that.
Thank you. And not to forget the added Charu's humor.
Yes, of course, absolutely. Thank you.
Super. Thanks so much, Tessin. Thanks for being
Most
here with
welcome,
us.
Neelu.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.